Hi, Creative Souls. Thank you so much for being here. So, this is my spread in Painting the Feminine Art Journal by Connie Solera. And I thought I was going to leave this alone, but I've been thinking about it and kind of obsessing about it, really. And here's the crux of the matter. Right from the first video in this series, I knew what the problem was. The problem is this: I know that I have to cover up more of the page and insert more of my art onto this spread, but I don't want to cover up Connie's work. And so I've been dancing around it and trying to find out all these ways that I can, retain more of her work. But the truth of the matter is, I have got to do something here where I can break up the energy. So I wanted to document it because maybe someone out there watching this video feels the exact same way. So maybe you're worried about, moving on to the next stage and covering up a piece of your work that you really love, or maybe you're working in a book like this using the images that are already on there and collaborating with the page, and you don't know how to move past the block of retaining too much of the images. So, what I think I'm going to do is go for something bold. And I'm going to use this piece of collage over here, which is my Thai mulberry handmade paper. And it's like got a very, strong pattern on it. So, right away, I think that's going to, break up the energy quite a bit here. So I'm just going to cut out some, not terribly big pieces. And let's see what I can come up with. I think, oh, I'm really loving that actually. Okay, so I'm going to put this down here. And I'm going to repeat it 3 times on the page to keep my eye moving around. And maybe I have to cut that. And so I really honestly thought I was going to be able to just kind of let this alone for a while. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to, call it complete. And that was that. But it's obvious that I needed to cover up more stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to bring in some of my own marks, and I'm using this Inktense pencil by Derwent. And um, how it's different from the Stabilo is that when it dries, I just dipped it in some water, but you can also use it dry. But once it dries, it's going to be permanent. And so I'm just going to make some marks over top of the collage. And this is a Painting the Feminine art journal. See, it's Painting the Feminine. And so I just love the fact that this suggests breasts. And when I thought about this paper, I wasn't really intending to do that, but I'm really loving the way that turned out there. And so what I'm doing is I'm using my non-dominant hand to make some lines and marks. And this is just a really good way to add interest to your page. And I made a video a short while ago talking about 3 interesting ways to add interest to your art journal page, and this was one of the techniques. So if you are interested in watching that, I'll leave a link below and you can check it out. So I'm really liking the fact that it's feeling more like me already. Like just from putting the collage and using this technique here, it's just feeling, I'm still leaving a lot, like some of Connie's stuff showing through, but it is looking a little more personal. So now I'm going to use my Posca marker here and see if I can just add some kind of interest here. No, that's not going to show up on the blue. Let me see here. So I am echoing some of Connie's work. I'm not sure if the camera can pick up on it. They're really light lines, so I am kind of just darkening them. So another thing I wanted to talk about is, see, I added the bindi there. And so instantly that just makes it more of me. And this is one of the great things about remaining true to ourselves. When we consistently check in with ourselves and ask ourselves, you know, what's calling to me? What's speaking to me? What do I want to put here? What color do I want to use? And by me constantly working on my visual language, everything that I do is going to look like me. It's going to look like it's my style. Um, so even when I make, say, a piece of collage, if I'm true to myself, this piece of collage that I made, you know, I think it was in a class that I took, if I had to put that here, it's still going to look like me because I'm remaining true to myself. So I hope that I'm explaining that correctly. When I take a class, the first time I do something, I do it exactly as I'm taught, and that way I can learn the techniques and incorporate that into my visual vocabulary. But then the second time I do do the exercise, I make it completely my own. And it's just another way of me developing my style and strengthening my voice, which I think is something we all struggle with. I struggle with that as well. And I think what I want to do is that's looking a bit too busy. So I'm going to maybe flatten this out a bit here. So I actually feel a lot better about this now, and I feel like it's so much more me. And I didn't do a whole lot to it, but I did cover up this piece here, which originally I didn't want to do. And so how I worked around that was I did allow a little bit of it to show through, but I'm feeling like this piece now is so much more me while still incorporating Connie's work. So this is really, I'm done for now. Like, I'm really done. And I hope that by me filming this end part of the tutorial, it has been helpful and inspired you to work in a repurposed book in tandem with the images on the page, just like I've been doing. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.